So the other day we get a call from Wendy the Retard where this is really weird. Wendy the Retard watches Nightmare on Elm Street like every single day. All the Freddy Krueger movies.
And I don't think that's good for her.
I don't think, I'm like, I've got normal intelligence, I think. And I get, like, kind of fucked up in the head over Freddy Krueger after a while. Like, can you imagine what a retarded girl is?
What does her brain do with that?
And then, Rich, she calls Sal and Richard on the voicemail all the time as Freddy Krueger. She's obsessed with Freddy Krueger. So here's what that sounds like.
Yeah, Richard, this is Freddy Krueger again. I'm going to come and get you in your sleep, Richard. I'm going to gut you as a pig.
I'm going to come and get you in your sleep. I mean, like,
she's a fucking sick cunt, I'll tell you.
Well, anyway, she's retarded. So
yeah.
The boys did Jack and Rod. This is where they pretend to have a radio show, and they're interviewing this author, and they incorporate the Wendy the Retard phone call voicemail. Okay, so here we go. This is Jack and Rod show with a guest, and Wendy the Retard calls in as Freddy Krueger.
And we're back with the Jack and Rod radio show. I'm Jack Mayoffer.
And I'm Rod Stivington.
And today is Monster Monday. Let's hear for Carlotta Holton.
Great to have you on the phone.
Thank you.
Give us a brief background on Touching the Dead.
Touching the Dead is a collection of 17 short stories based on ethnic superstitions.
On the phone, we have an expert on monsters who also happened to play a monster in the movies.
Oh.
Special guest, say something?
Does that ring a bell,
Do you have
Carlotta?
a guess?
No, doesn't ring a bell at all.
This is Freddy Krueger.
That's right. It's Robert Englund from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. That's Freddy Krueger.
Oh, terrific.
Are you familiar with Mr. Robert Englund?
Absolutely.
What are some of the things that fascinate you about Robert Englund? Maybe you can ask him.
Well, let's see. I would be very curious as to why you think people have such a fascination with the character and the whole concept.
I will get you in your dreams, you faggot.
Well,
I will gut you as a fish.
because what? I'm sorry?
I will gut you as a pig.
Wow, the Loch Ness Monster's been... and that really
I'm
goes...
gonna get you, Richard, in your dreams.
In New Guinea, people believe that mirrors held the and well, I can see this isn't going too far.
I'll come and get you.
I thought this was a serious interview.
Miss Holton, we have dead air here. Let's move along.
Well, every time I say something, he speaks over me. I don't know what point there is to it.
He takes that character very seriously.
Well,
You just have to speak over him.
I don't want to speak over him. I want to have screaming.
What's that?
I said I'm not going to be screaming.
Just a little louder.
No.
I'll come and get you.
Wow. That Freddy Krueger's really into his character.
That was funny.
He was terrifying her in her interview.
Every time the woman tried to speak, he would interrupt her.
Right. That drives you crazy. All right, look. Well, it's a running theme.
It is.
Yeah. Did you ever hear the phony phone call where the train interrupts?
Right. There's the other one where there's a radio that interrupts.
Yeah.
Then there's one where a band interrupts.
That's right.
A live band is
yeah.
setting up.
You know that one? All right, look, we're going to take a break. You take
What
you
else
get.
can we have interrupted?
How about some comedy? Oh.
Ooh.
All right, we got to take a break.
I'm kidding. We're going to get in trouble again.
Wait, here's the band interrupting. You want to hear that one?
Please.
All right. I think this is it.
And we're back with a very special Jack and Rod show.
And today we're addressing seniors and arthritis.
And on the phone, author of Pain Was My Middle Name, Anita Lee Chun.
Thank you.
Hello, Anita. Tell us about arthritis.
Well, you know, right now I'm feeling great. I mean, this is the reason why I wrote the...
Hey, Larry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, Nita.
Anita?
Yeah, what happened?
That's Larry, the engineer. He's behind us setting up for the band Foghat. They're actually playing in this studio in about an hour.
Yeah, all right. Uh-huh.
Let me ask you this, Anita, about the book. Which foods can cause flare-ups and are best avoided?
Well, yeah, all the preservatives, the additives, and...
You think they're hitting this theme too much? You know, I'm paying 2 guys to come up with stuff.
They found something that
and
works.
anything that when you read about the ingredients, when you cannot pronounce.
Larry, hold off.
What if I play all the interruption bits at once?
Hey, we can have an interruption weekend.
Interrupt one bit with another.
What if I interrupt Sal and Richard?
It's like a bit within a bit.
What if I bring Sal and Richard now and
They could interrupt their own bit.
No, we just interrupt whatever they have to say with something.
Let's do it.
I think we should do it live. Bring these people actually in here, and when you ask them something, we just interrupt them.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we ought to bring it into the show. Sometimes we have people we really don't want to book.
Do you want to hear the one where the jingle interrupts?
Yeah, that way.
Okay.
If we get one of those guests, we'll just start interrupting with
And we're back with the Jack and Rod show. And who do we got on the phone, Jack?
His name is Hawk McKinney.
How you doing, Hawk?
I'm doing fine. Good afternoon to you all.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
The book is a historical love story set in the days...
And we're back with the Jack and Rod show.
We got to do station IDs. Our program director's all over us today.
Backing up a little bit, you'd asked me about the book, and it's a historical love story. And it's located...
All right, let's go back to the bit where the music interrupts.
For a second.
I'm sorry about that.
We're
Go ahead.
sorry.
Continue, please.
Yeah. I said, well, all the things, for instance, like bell peppers and...
Larry!
Oh, my God.
Larry, hold on just for 1 second.
Larry!
You want to go back to where the jingle interrupts, or you want to continue with this one?
I don't know. Can we go back to... Didn't they have one where a dog interrupted?
Didn't we try the
Oh, yeah.
train?
Oh, where's the train
the
one?
train.
Yeah, the train. We haven't done the train.
That's all right.
There was a train built in the studio.
Woo! Maybe it's time to stop the interrupting bits. Maybe we've done enough. Time to move on.
Fuck it. I'm in trouble now. Forget it.
What is it, Sal? Sal, I can't hear you. Can you talk louder? Sal, the train noise is interrupting. Well, wait, let me hear Sal. You gotta let him start talking, then you interrupt him, Fred.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, Howard, the train prank call.
Yeah? Talk louder.
It's right underneath the...
Sorry, we have a band. There's a band.
What's it underneath, Sal? Just talk louder, please.
It's in GP1.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. We can't conduct a show like this.
I don't see how we're going to communicate if you can't talk louder.
You can't talk over this band. Come on.
Wait a second. We want to go back to the bit where you're talking to the woman and she gets interrupted.
Howard, the train call...
I'm sorry.
We're sorry, Anita.
Oh, wait, you want me to play the weightlifting interrupting
Yeah,
one?
that's a good one. Yeah.
Right, here.
You have one of
Well, I'll
those?
do the train station one first.
We back?
We've been back, sir. We're waiting.
Oh, sorry. Wrong.
Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Good. I'm at the train station. I'd like to make an order to go, please.
You got it.
All right. Give me 2. On the side.
What? Whoa, what, sir?
Did you get that?
No, I didn't get anything, sir. To what?
Okay. I'm just having a tough time hearing you. I'm at the train station.
That's okay. Well, there's no problem. There's nothing I can do about that. But to what?
Okay. Let me tell you again. Give me 2, 1.
Let me interrupt this bit to play the one where
We interrupt this bit.
they call the lady at the concert.
right, that was when he was at a concert.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
I can barely hear you. I'm at a concert now, but I was calling about the utility trailer you got for sale.
Yeah, we still haven't.
What's that?
I can't hear you.
Can you tell me about it?
It's a 40 by 70-foot trailer that doesn't have sides.
Huh?
It doesn't have sides.
Oh, it has sides?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, because we need... Okay, great. It has sides.
No, it does not have sides.
Oh, it has one side?
No, it has no sides.
How many?
No, none.
Hello.
Now, hello.
Man, they're getting rowdy here.
I can't hear you.
Hello.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
No.
I'm at a rock concert here. Hello.
Wait, let's go back to the one where it's the weightlifting interrupting.
Good morning, Chief. How are you?
Hey, what's happening?
What's happening? Me and my old lady were at the gym. We're looking for a bench press. You selling a bench press?
No, it's a bearing press.
Right, bench press, right?
No, it press bearings on and off axles and stuff like that.
Oh, it's got ball bearings in it? Good.
No. No, it's a bearing press.
Oh, hold on one second.
Spot me, honey.
I got my wife on the bench here at the gym. Give me 1 second.
I got 225. I think I can do it.
All right,
Spot
babe.
me. Here I go.
Push it, babe. Push it.
No, it's not a bench. It's not
man.
It's for automobile.
That's where the weights start interrupting.
Yeah. Just have a whole CD of sound effects.
Why not a whole CD of just interrupting bits?
Well, I'm waiting for their album.
Hey, Sal, are there any more interrupting bits? Isn't there one where a porn clip interrupts? The porn clip.
Yeah, there's one.
I can't hear you. Talk louder. Talk louder, please, ma'am. Miss, talk louder.
It's the porn clip called.
Wait, I'm at the shipyard.
Where is the porn clip? Honestly.
Shipyard.
No, I'm at the shipyard.
Wait, we're at a shipyard, so talk louder. Where is the porn clip? I want to hear it.
It's an orange, a GP1.
Wait a minute, we're at a rock concert.
Wait a minute. I'm at the Jay and the Americans concert.
There's a guy throwing up.
There's a porno star here.
My goodness, this is ridiculous.
There's a guy farting.
Wait a minute, somebody fell down the stairs.
Wait, I'm in a concentration camp and they're killing Jews with guns. Hold it. You're gonna hear some gun noise, but I'm gonna try and hear you anyway while I'm in the concentration camp.
Yeah, there's a firing squad going on.
I thought this was going to be a...
What page is it on?
Wait,
they're killing some Jews. Hold on.
Speak up, we can't hear you over the Jew killing.
I'm at the theater. I'm watching the show Stump. We're watching Stump.
All right. Here's the porno clip interrupting. I'm at the theater dancing.
May I help you?
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hi. I'm not feeling very well. I think I have a stomach thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to send my grandson up to pick something up for me, but I'm just wondering what to tell him to pick up for me.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, I'm dry heaving a lot.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Could you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
I'm still just dry heaving up a storm.
Well, there's a product called
I'm sorry, what was that?
They said there's a product called
Anybody want me to go back to the train interrupting bit? I never finished that one. Right.
I think, is there an ending that
to this one
comes out of nowhere?
Where the guy hangs up? All right.
Yeah, how do you think it is?
You know, those Jack and Rod people, they're so desperate for any attention.
I know.
I wrote a book.
Sad thing.
Someone is paying attention to this book I wrote.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words. Hey, Ken, you're on the air in Lighthouse Point.
Hey, I do want to comment on John's show, which I thought was absolutely excellent last night.
John the Stutterer?
Yeah, I tuned in. It's funny. I went to dinner with my daughter, Deborah, last night. and we were hanging out, and then like I got home about 7:45, and I put the radio on, and I caught the last 15 minutes. I actually caught the last 2 minutes of John the Stutterer. He was on arguing with Scott DePace.
Oh, really?
That was the worst. No, all the callers, including Liddy, the guest, were at least respectful of John's issues, shall we say.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird. Like, I have some highlight clips, and they actually sounded pretty good, and we got a lot of feedback in the email I'll read you. So let me...
Wait, DePace was the only one that was inconsiderate and really brought the show down, I thought.
Yeah, that's the part... Excuse me. That's the part I heard, and I was kind of like, oh... I don't know what's going on here.
I got to say one other thing, Howard. Enough for Ralph already. It brings the show to a screeching halt.
I know. A lot. Wait, I'll read you the email on Ralph. It's brutal. Everyone wants less Ralph and more John the Stutterer.
I know he's your friend and all that, but he's got nothing to say. And I've been listening for a long, long time. Nothing brings the show down like a call from Ralph.
Here, listen to this. And everyone agrees with you. I just don't see it. I like when Ralph calls in, and I still don't see it. But here's the email, and it is irrefutable. Shut up. Shut up, Ralph. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, Ralph. So Howard is all about giving the fans what they want. When one stupid asshole says he would listen to that stuttering moron, but thousands of fans have been begging for years to get rid of that rat-faced waste of oxygen, Ralph. But no, we still have to endure him. Please, Bubba, do us all a favor and incapacitate Ralph once and for all.
I second that.
All right, I'll read you more. Ralph is wrong yet again. Ralph attacked Bubba first, and Heather attacked Ralph for attacking Ralph. Whatever that means. Ralph was just a little fucking girl. I never really liked him, and sure as hell can't stand him now. Here's another one. Ralph sucks. Bubba said he was wrong to jab at Ralph's mom. Bubba admitted that he was wrong. I'm over Ralph, Howard. Can we stop hearing him already?
But Howard, it's not even a good controversy. Like, sometimes controversy can be great. This just brings it down.
Listen to this one. Fuck Ralph. He's a scumbag piece of shit. Let him have his own hour on another channel. Why you even take his calls is beyond me. I tune in the radio all the time, but I turn the radio off every time you take his call. I hope Bubba or anyone breaks Ralph's nose. The guy's a tool. Yet another one. Get Ralph off the phone with 50 exclamation points. I'm going to change the station. I just can't take it anymore.
He's got nothing to say, and you let him on, I guess, at whim?
I like what he has to say. I'm the only one. How great would it be if Bubba threw Ralph in a trash can? This one said.
Hey, Howard, you listen to the listeners when they wanted to put the show on loop and repeat?
Yes.
And
is he really that bad? I mean, he does call in with some things that are interesting, I feel.
Major tune-out factor.
Do you hear that, Robin?
What?
That Ralph is a major tune-out factor?
I don't get it. I really think that sometimes Ralph adds something to any conversation. Lately, however, he has been just sort of acting as a spoiler.
Yes.
My take on the whole situation, after working with, you guys for 7 years almost, I've learned the cardinal rule that you can't break in radio is to be boring on the air. And Ralph certainly isn't that. You got to admit. I mean, anyone who gets that kind of reaction from people is not boring. So,
no, it's abrasive. No, if you're listening to the show and the show has its flow, you guys are sitting where you're sitting, you can see each other, and all of a sudden, a caller like me or any other caller can come in and change it, and you're sort of ready for it. He just comes in. The dynamics aren't there. He's in his own little world. We all know his life was changed more than anybody's in the show entirely, because without the show, he
has
was a
no
nobody.
life.
Now he's a hated nobody by millions.
Listen to this. Fuck Ralph, Howard. You let Ralph call into the show and spew his bullshit way too much. Who cares what that homo has to say? If Ralph feels he needs to be a part of the show, make him wake up and drag his ass into the studio on time along with everyone else who makes that sacrifice for the show. Then he could sleep in the studio like Artie. Ralph simply lays in bed and calls into the show at will. If he wants to live that lifestyle, let him move out to California to suck San Simon's dick. In case I didn't make my point at the beginning, fuck Ralph. Well, I'll read you two more, okay? Real quick ones.
It's unbelievable.
Ralph is, not one positive. Ralph is the biggest fucking piece of shit crybaby girl. Tell him to get the fuck over himself. He can dish it out, but he can't take the heat. He should apologize and never call in again. And finally, Ralph is the biggest jerk-off on the planet, and he should suck cock and die.
But you're making it the Ralph show. All those letters are right.
I don't see it. I'm telling you,
You didn't see
Artie,
the show on a loop either.
Okay, but
Well, I don't always agree with Ralph either, obviously, but I do think
it's not about whether you agree with him or not. Do you think he's a terrible caller?
I think
the show.
I think he says stuff that other people are dying to say, and he creates confrontation, which always makes it interesting. But this guy on the phone, I recognize his voice. This guy's clearly a big fan. He calls a lot. So I would trust his perspective. I mean, you don't know what the listener actually thinks or hears. It's a different thing.
I know. I mean, I like to think that I'm on top of things, but this seems to be the one area where I am disagreeing with the audience.
Hey, Artie.
Hey, by the way, I got to interrupt this conversation and tell you that Ronnie is asleep in the hall right now.
Our security person?
My security guard, Ronnie, is asleep.
Wait a minute. I got to see this. Do they have a camera?
I don't know. Scott DePace wants to yell at this caller, too.
Oh, I'll take him on.
All right.
I wasn't sleeping.
They said you were sleeping. I just got to know.
Got up quick, pal.
They to break my fucking ass now.
What?
What?
What? I didn't
They do everything to break my balls now. I was not sleeping.
Why are they saying
I was just
that?
sitting in a chair like this.
I
wasn't sleeping.
They say he just woke up. Scott, was he sleeping or was he?
Was I sleeping?
Tell the truth.
He was out like a light.
Yeah.
His head was against the wall.
Yeah, right.
His mouth was wide open.
Yeah, okay.
That's my intern, Aaron.
All right.
Do you have video?
Fine.
No, we tried to get it, and he woke
That's
up.
how much I was asleep.
Dude,
What?
You're in charge of
I said,
security.
that's how much I was asleep.
You were asleep.
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't expect Ronnie to talk to your intern Aaron. Your intern Peggy or Susie,
Next
Not
time,
Aaron.
do the video.
We
tape.
tried. I ran out of the studio. I ran out of my studio to.
Jason, was he asleep? Oh, here's
this
Aaron.
is Aaron's cousin.
Hey, Aaron, how you doing, man? Was he asleep or not, Aaron?
He had his head back. It looked like there might have been a little bit of drool coming out.
Then he was asleep.
It's about 15 minutes or so.
15 minutes.
He's not exactly the Gregorian guard.
All right, thank you.
I don't know.
All right, thanks for the report.
No problem. You got it.
Scott, come on in and yell at our caller.
Here's what you got to. If you play any clips at all, play parts of Gordon Liddy, and listen for how Liddy lets John talk.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I tuned out. I got to be honest
John
with
didn't
you.
let me talk. This guy's a douchebag. What do you look like, you little shit?
For some reason, your segment didn't work, I guess.
This guy.
This isn't about me. So
Yeah, it is. You always call in. You got a whiny little voice. You're.
I turn it around on me, but that's not how it works right now.
What do you look like?
What are you changing the?
Tell me what you look
What's the
like.
What does his appearance have to do with this?
Because I can guarantee he's 5'2". He's fat. He probably.
Who cares?
This is, you're trying to change this. You're just like Bush. Try and change the subject.
Do you have hair,
You're a whiny
sir?
Little bullshit.
It's a pure Republican.
How many protests do you go to a week?
Sir, do you have hair in your head?
He's showing his colors.
All right, thank you, Scott. Enough of that. Let's go to Chris. Chris, you're on the air in Fairfax, Virginia.
Yeah, you got to keep his show on at least once a week because it was just a riot.
I'll play you some clips
the whole time.
All right, we're talking about John the Stutterer. We gave him a show.
He was into it when we were leaving Vegas because I even said to him I had to go to the plane in like a couple hours. I said, John, why don't you stay in Vegas? I'll get the guy to, comp the room, and he goes real confidently and happy. I got to get back to my show. He didn't even stutter.
It's funny. The part I heard with DePace, I didn't think was good, and I turned it off.
But a lot of people seem to find. I mean, I didn't want to tell Scott in front of him, but that seemed to be the one part of the show that they did not like.
Because a lot of listeners really liked it. In fact, I printed out. I hope I printed out.
And I'm not exactly sure yet why they like the John show, if it's because of his commentary or because of the stutter, but for whatever reason, it appears to be a hit.
Jason, print out all the comments about John the Stutterer show, if you would. Yes, Scott.
That's whatever. I was doing my own thing. They called me to call in.
Right.
I was
It just didn't
respectful
work.
to
No,
him.
I'm not saying that you were bad. I mean, it's like that was just the report. So
The part that I heard was unlistenable until I got on and actually caused some controversy. It was boring.
All right.
Listen to a stutter.
Let's listen to this. John the Stutterer, this is just him talking about some of his beliefs. This is his show.
I believe that that corporations have been they regulated too much. While I obviously do believe in a strong military, there's far too much waste, and I believe that this and I believe that this war in Iraq is the wrong war, obviously.
All right, so then let's see.
I'm glad to know his beliefs.
Some excellent points.
I forget this one. This is who gave me these clips? The one with the university in it. I want to set it up. Oh, here he is talking about Sean Hannity.
Doesn't like Sean Hannity, I would
Yeah, what was the
imagine.
university one, JD?
He's just talking about Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, yeah, right. And what was, that he went to, and he fucks up the word university, right?
Yeah, he just a long stutter.
He is now veering towards the right in a sense because he's now against gay marriage. He says he's just for civil unions. He's spoken to Pat Robertson's regent. The university.
God, wow.
That's to tuning in. Here he's talking about Sean Hannity, and he was doing all this. This stuff sounds kind of interesting to me.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, listen to this.
Let's take some calls. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's go to Glenn in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Hey, Glenn.
Hey, John, big fan of yours.
Sure, Glenn. Thank you, Glenn.
I love listening to you on Howard Stern and everything, and I think you're a great American.
Well, thank you, Glenn.
Sean Hannity loves to say that, you know. And I'm a big Sean Hannity fan.
Oh, really?
I want to know what you actually think of Sean Hannity.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you called, sir. However, I have to say, I think that Sean Hannity is a creepy, lying coward, and my reason for this is in his early 20s, he went to seminary school. What normal guy goes to seminary school? He calls himself a devout Catholic. He was a close friend of Jerry Falwell's. He was the commencement speaker at Jerry Falwell's Liberty University in 2005. He loves Pat Robertson and James Dobson, too. He hates Playboy. He told Hal.
See, it sounds like he's reading now, and he's good when he's reading.
Is he reading?
I don't know. He had notes or something on Sean Hannity. Doesn't it sound that way? Like he's not stuttering.
When he doesn't stutter, he sounds like every other
he sounds
political
like a
talk, like a guy who would know his shit and is making points.
Or that he said he doesn't look at Playboy. He doesn't find those girls attractive. He loves country music. He thinks pornography is immoral. Now, how many Howard Stern fans think that pornography or prostitution are immoral? Not many. He called war hero John Kerry a coward. Well, John Kerry volunteered for Vietnam. George Bush, guys like George Bush and Dick Cheney dodged the draft. John Kerry is a hero.
He's good.
His
Man,
so-called family, Sean Hannity's Republican so-called family values party is full of draft dodgers, perverts, adulterers, divorcees, druggies, and fornicators. Sean Hannity even had a segment on his Hannity's America where he thinks Vince Foster was murdered. He had a segment on recently where he wants to Hannitize. Oh, I'm gonna Hannitize. He wants to Hannitize the girls of the Moonlight Bunny Ranch. Sean Hannity calls himself a normal red-blooded American male. No, he's not a normal red-blooded American male. The guys like me who listen to Howard Stern are normal red-blooded American males.
Well, let's not get crazy.
Fuck Sean Hannity. So does that answer your question, Glenn? Thank you.
What?
Now let's go to let me see. Mark in Michigan, if you had to choose a Republican. Okay. Mark?
Yes. Hey, John. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for calling, Mark.
See, it went along.
Oh, man.
And even like it's true, G. Gordon Liddy was a guest.
If you just took that little chunk we just played, I bet he'd get a job somewhere.
Absolutely.
Without the stutter.
Howard TV will air John the Stutterer show tomorrow night. You'll be able to see the whole thing.
See
I might watch that.
That clip we just played makes me think, God, he's got to be capable of curing what he has in some way. I mean,
he's very well thought out.
Yeah.
Here he is with G. Gordon Liddy. And G. Gordon Liddy, I don't think knew it hit him.
Let's talk now to G. Gordon Liddy. You can hear G-Man on Sirius Patriot 144 and at www.liddyshow.com. Mr. Liddy, hello.
How are you, sir? Thank you for having me on.
Hi, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for the coming on my show. I first have to say that, quite frankly, I don't like you. However, I will be respectful and I will not call you names.
Well, there's no federal statute yet that says that you have to like me. Not yet.
Right, absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
How can I help you?
What would you like to discuss?
Well, you just gave your analysis of the Republican race. I would say it is still wide open.
See, and then they went into it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh. What would you like to discuss?
That's so good. G. Gordon Liddy has always, proven to have a great sense of humor about himself, which is, I always loved him when you talk to him.
Yes.
I like him as a guest. He's cool.
Yes, Ralph, I shouldn't take your call anymore. Did you hear the scathing email? Not one positive about you.
I don't know. I love the Ralph calls.
You really like the Ralph calls, right, Ralph?
I love them. They're fun.
Tim, what do you think as a programmer? I respect you more than anyone. Do you think Ralph is really bad for the show?
Ralph throws things off from time to time, but you always come at it. If somebody says white, you say black, and it pisses everybody off, throws everybody off. And sometimes that's good, and it works, but others, it becomes like an annoyance.
So who do you agree with, the audience, where we should ban Ralph? I mean, if Ralph has some good, you got to then take the bad with the good.
Exactly. I think Ralph adds a different perspective to things. He's like our Newman.
Okay.
If people hate me that much, if they'd like to donate some money, I'll never call in again.
You're saying if you get enough money,
you can start a telethon. Yeah,
we can pay you to stay off of it.
Well, there's a movement that might get started. Yes, Tim.
Last night when John the Stutterer came in, we were waiting for him to come in. His show's at 7:00 Eastern, and he shows up late. I mean, I'm standing outside the building, so I'm worried to death about him. His bus was late. He was coming up from Philadelphia, so he comes up with these, a bag of notes that he had written out. But he gets in here into the studio and amazingly was very well prepared, very well thought out, and I was very impressed for his first time on the air that he was able to pull this off the way he did.
Sounds very professional.
Would you give him another show?
Absolutely.
What is it, Ralph, that you wanted to say?
There's at one point you got to pull the clip. I think it was towards the end of the show where John tries to say omnipotent.
JD, pull the clip where he tries to say omnipotent.
That just should not be in his vocabulary.
All right, thank you, Ralph.
Okay, bye.
Let's go to Russell. Russell, you're on the air in Los Angeles.
How you doing, Howard?
Hey.
Hey, I want to get it over and under from you guys. I counted the I's from John last night.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
The over-under on the eyes.
For the whole hour, huh?
Yeah, 72 is the over-under.
That's the over-under.
Yeah.
I gotta say over.
You're gonna say over, Robin?
What's the over-under?
72.
Oh.
I'll say over.
It's under. You got 65 eyes out.
Really?
So wait, so one three eyes makes one.
No.
Like I is one or I is one.
When I counted I counted that as 3.
Oh, all right. Oh. Wow.
And what about his uhs? Are those different from his ums?
Yeah, the over-under on that is 70.
What about the ooh and the da?
Are all I ever hear from him.
I.
Oh.
I didn't get to those. I would have had about 10 papers writing down a bunch of words and stuff, but the over-under is 70.
Yes, Wheels.
Ralph, sorry. We had a thing before against Ralph against Eric the Midget, and Ralph was most hated, correct?
Right.
Can't we just put up another 3-day poll? I'll pay $2 a month not to put them on.
You actually pay a fee.
I would, seriously. It's 5 times last Tuesday, 6 times on Thursday, then the wrap-up show puts them on. Give him his own goddamn show. Nobody will listen to that unless they want to call in and yell at him.
Well, maybe if they isolated him to his own show, you're saying it would be different. Yes, Ralph, go ahead and speak to Wheels.
I'm on the Stern Fan Network,
Right.
which is Stern Fans.
Right.
I'm reading a thread that says Ralph's not that bad, people. I'll take that as a compliment. And
Go
here's
ahead.
some posts. I take a call from Ralph any day over some of the regular callers. I like him more all the time. He's one of the last honest opinions on the show. He is lame, and his opinions are boring. Okay, I guess that would be a negative. Ralph rocks. Thank you.
No, at
Ralph's
all.
the only caller that's worth listening to nowadays. Everyone else just sits to suck Howard's ass. It's pathetic. Ralph is good for nothing piece of shit. Okay, I guess that's not a good one. I love Ralph. Hate days when he doesn't call in. Ralph is a great caller because he's honest. Ralph is good for the show. Once on the regular show and once for a longer segment on the wrap-up show.
All right. Well, there it is.
I think Fred's skewing the email.
Exactly.
Once again.
And going through my emails right now, I'm... Dude, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You know what you should do is get John Hunterlock in here one day. He saw me go through the email, and I had him as a witness. I go, John, I want you to witness some of the emails that I go through with Ralph, because Ralph thinks I'm
All right,
skewing,
well, the controversy
and he will
continues.
skew it at least 95% negative, 5% positive.
Fred, really, I'm just kidding. I don't think.
No, I know, but I know some people. I've been accused of this before. Gary thought I was putting through all the fat emails, and then he went through the emails and he found out people really said, something. You really are fat.
Yeah.
And if they looked at Gary, I don't know why he's surprised that they thought he was fat.
Yeah, Gary really is fat. I'm not annoying.
Right.
All right. Thank
Hey,
you.
Al.
Yeah. By the way, here, Ralph.
You're not fat, Ralph.
Ralph, you still there?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let me see. There was somebody who wanted to.
How's the Taliban coming along?
Let's see. Here's a guy who wants to get rid of you. Yes, Alan.
Hello.
Yeah, you want to get rid of Ralph, right?
Oh, God, he sucks so bad.
Yeah. See, that's most of my
Brings
mail.
the show down every time he's on.
Right.
So there you go, Ralph.
Well,
Apparently that guy's on a different thread.
Yeah, this is another thread somewhere. John Boy, go ahead.
I was the wrong thread.
I was kind of wondering when Bubba was threatening Ralph if, you were present when he went to beat Ralph's ass. Would you protect him since you're the strongest one with those 16 pull-ups you pulled off?
I wouldn't. Thank you for that, by the way.
Oh, well, I saw you take down Gary Busey that time with that rear naked choke. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. Once in a while, I get some retard strength in me, but yeah, I mean, it would depend what they were fighting. I mean, I wouldn't want my friends fighting about anything, like physically. I suppose I'm a big coward, though. I probably wouldn't get too involved. I would say, "Hey, guys, stop!" Something like that.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead. You're on the air.
I think that, Ralph can be a dick sometimes. A lot of times I don't agree with his opinion, but he is an honest caller, and I think he's good for the show. He provides an alternate opinion as opposed to everybody else, and definitely keep him on the show.
All right, Jeff, go ahead, weigh in with your thoughts. Jeff, you there?
I love him. Hey, now. Hey, I was wondering if there's any way we can get, serious, and we can just do, the monthly, can add it to our monthly subscription, $2 a month.
So
we can keep Ralph off the air. I'll just take it right out of my
So
credit
if Sirius billed you another $2 on your credit card to keep Ralph off the air, you would pay it?
card. That would be great.
All right.
So in other words, the the channel without Ralph is a premium channel.
Right, that's right. Yeah, it's called the Without Ralph channel.
It's nice to know that it's there.
It's got a logo and everything.
You're guaranteed not to hear Ralph Sorella at any time.
That's very good. All right, thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Jeff. And hey now, or bye now, or whatever it is. Let's say hello to Mark. Mark, go ahead.
Howard.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you picked up. I got 4 bullet points for you on the Ralph thing.
Okay.
This is going to convince you.
Jesus.
Number 1, okay, he's at least 90% hated.
Right.
Would you have a guest on every day,
No.
sometimes multiple times a day, that 90% of the people hated?
No.
Okay, number 2, he brings absolutely nothing positive to the show. He's complaining, criticizing every single call. It's never upbeat. Okay, number 3, there's absolutely nothing special or different about him that makes him any more qualified to call in and comment on things than any other listener.
I don't know. I just think his comments are worthwhile. I do disagree about this. I do, Robin.
I didn't say they weren't worthwhile necessarily,
All right.
but what makes him so special that he can get in?
Well, I have a relationship with him. I know him, and, he does have some interesting things to say, so I go to him.
Well, that means your own personal feelings are outweighing
Yes.
your customers, right?
Perhaps. Listen, I go by my gut and what I think is interesting. I think the guy is interesting.
I have one last bullet point.
Can we run a channel with all the Ralph calls edited out,
Yeah,
Robin?
there'll just be dead silence when
Yeah.
Ralph is speaking.
And see what does better? Maybe we could check. Oh, here is John the Stutterer saying omnipotence.
And when people selectively pick and choose which sins are good and which sins are bad, such as yourself, you are negating the omnipotence of your so-called man in the sky.
Well, there you go. Finally, he did get into it with Scott DePace, and I didn't think it was very good, the Scott DePace stuff. I felt Scott and him were just going at it too much.
I'm a conservative, not a religious right guy. You
well, why don't you listen, Scott?
Why don't you go get a job? You're making our unemployment rate go up.
You should go to church and pray to your imaginary man in the sky. Okay.
So you're a little bit bitter because you got this stutter problem. Why don't you get off your ass, get a job, and stop blaming
Scott,
God?
listen. Well, Scott. Well, if you believe in God so much, you should adhere to all of His teachings and all the teachings, and all to the teachings of the Bible and all conservative religions.
Who's to say, dude? Who's to say? Whose teachings are you?
Such as the Catholic Church, which says that not only is abortion wrong, and not only is homosexuality wrong, but so is contraception, so is premarital sex, so is pornography, so is prostitution, and when people...
Wow. He ate you up, man, for lunch.
Oh, yeah, he got
tore
me.
you up.
I would just like to point out the first thing you said to me this morning was, I did good on the air.
No, what I pointed out was you were the chemistry between the two of you was horrible. He was talking all over you, and you were talking all over him.
He'll make anyone a bet.
Howard took the liberty of bullshitting you.
Yeah. Howard's got two personalities. Off
I have an on-air and off. The one on the air is the real personality. Trust me.
So were you lying to him?
No, I was trying to make the point that it didn't work together, but he was good to call in, and he said he tried. He couldn't get a word in. John the Stutterer wouldn't allow him to say anything.
Right.
That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott. You said I was the best part of that show. Jim McClure, producer of the show, said I was the best part of the John the Stutterer show. So screw everybody.
Scott, is it more John's content or is it just his delivery and stuttering problem?
Everything. He's annoying. He's one of these liberals who, he's not willing to work. He just wants to collect a check, and that's the kind that I really hate. He could fix his stutter, which then he could go get a job, but no, he won't do it. He'd rather just collect the check and sit on his ass.
And blame the man in the sky, as you refer to.
Exactly, and God's the one that he's real angry at, and screw him.
Why is he constantly trying to paint you as a religious nut or a religious freak.
Because apparently if you're conservative with him, if you're conservative, you must be tied to the religious right, which I'm not. I'm a conservative with fiscal policy, and I want a strong military, and that's my sort of government. His is, he thinks that, Jerry Falwell runs the Republican Party, and he doesn't, especially now since he's dead.
Let's go over to John Hine. There's a beautiful painting of John Hine, as we mentioned, here at the station, and they've now posted it on howardstern.com if you want to see the painting of John Hine. It's quite beautiful, thanks to our friends at photofiddle.com. Go ahead.
After reading a barrage of angry email, Howard pondered whether or not the fans are right in not wanting Ralph to call into the show anymore.
Would you be honest with me?
Sure.
I'll go with your call on this. I think Ralph is a good caller. The email seems to indicate that 95% to 98% of the audience thinks I'm insane. Do you think I'm wrong? No, come on. Well, I'm really interested.
I don't think you're wrong for putting him on because he gets people upset. He riles people up with his opinions.
But is he bad on the air?
Sometimes.
He is.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, no. When he calls in with something that he knows about or has knowledge of or tweaks somebody here or there, I think he's great. When he calls in just to be heard, then he's not so great. And you pick him up more than anybody else. And I think other callers are like, why are you picking him so much up so much versus me? And Artie made a really good point on Wrap Up yesterday. Sometimes it's not really what Ralph says, it's how he says it that gets on people's nerves.
He does have a tone, Ralph,
Do you think there should be less Ralph on this show?
It depends. I know that's
a really wishy-washy answer.
Don't waffle.
Do you think there should be, yes or no, less of Ralph on the show?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what? I got to say.
But you don't like Ralph.
No, not true.
No, it's personal with you, too.
No, Ralph and I have had our moments, but I do like him. And we do get along. But sometimes we irritate the hell out of each other. That's absolutely true.
It aggravated you that he trashed the music special you worked 3 months on?
Oh.
A little bit.
And then posted it
But we talked about that.
I must say I agree. I think Ralph should be on this show, but I think it's a bit much. It should be less.
Wow.
I agree with the person who said Ralph should get up and come in here if he wants to contribute.
I don't want him in here.
That'll automatically make it less.
No, I'll tell you what happens for me. When Ralph calls in, there's a little line or blurb about what he wants to speak about. And 9 times out of 10, I look at it, I go, that's interesting.
It would create something interesting in the conversation.
Yes.
And you know what? And 90% of the time, I'd have to say, and 70% of the 70% of the time it does. The other 30%, I think, is where it can be cut off.
I mean, a lot of times he's on there with something interesting to say, and then it turns out not to be that good. But
but he always says something. He always says what other people might be thinking, and that brutal honesty creates,
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised people don't like Ralph.
Now, sometimes he will say stuff that other people just won't say. And he'll ask questions that you just won't ask.
So you can't always. So if I limit a lot of that stuff, I can't. I don't have. This is not a scripted show.
But sometimes he says stuff you just can't say.
Yeah,
that is true. I know. Marianne from Brooklyn.
My complaint, Howard, is that when he's on 6 or 7 times a day, and I only get one time, the line is full. It's hard for other callers that want to get through, but he does have a lot to add. And you know what, Howard? People don't realize, like me and Ralph, we're very passionate about calling you every day. So we're diehard. We're calling, we're listening, we know what's happening. So we kind of have a heads up on what's going on over there.
All right, Marianne, thank you. Sonny, go ahead.
Ralph is the best caller to the show, and I don't know how
I agree.
Do you want fucking bong kid Eric who sits there and kisses your ass? Ralph actually has an honest opinion. And, I mean, I would listen to him any day. He's very entertaining. You should keep him on.
Okay. Thank you, Sonny.
Those are the times he's really good. But there are times he calls up to rehash what he just heard or what he, didn't, or something we talked about at 6 o'clock in the morning. He wakes up at 10.
Bobo, you're on the air.
And he
Hey,
calls to talk
I just want
about
to tell you something. Fans may hate me for this, but I've been on the Superfan Roundtable many times with Ralph, and he's great. He helps move things along. He gives honest opinions.
Yes, that's the Ralph I know.
Yeah, but the fans don't hate you for that. Hey, you know what the analogy is? Like Darryl Strawberry when he was on the Mets. A lot of people, even I as a Yankee fan, I hated him, but I had to watch every at-bat.
Yeah, I am going...
Because you wanted to know what he was going to do. So when Ralph calls, you're like, I got to hear what he's got to say.
I am telling you, I will continue to put Ralph on because I do believe he adds to the show. Don in Syracuse, yes.
The answer is yes. Ralph should be on the show more. He's opinionated.
More?
He comes with great
Yes.
opinions. More, yes. Honestly, I think all of these callers are jealous of Ralph. They want the relationship with Howard. They want to be on the air more, but they're idiots, and they come with no opinion, and Ralph comes with a great opinion.
See, that is how I feel. But John Hein, who I trust... I don't know.
You know what I think? In hindsight, like when the Jackie chair, you had a rotation of guys. I know you tried Stutter and John one day. In hindsight, it would have been really interesting to let Ralph sit here all day.
No, that'd be too much, Ralph.
Well, no, but I mean, because he would say, he would say something brutally honest constantly.
Four callers would be on the line right now. Who would you want me to pick? Ralph, Marianne from Brooklyn, Bobo, or Dominic? Who do you go to? Who's your go-to guy?
Ralph.
Right.
Out of that group?
Yes.
Ralph.
Here's John Hein losing it on Ralph on the wrap-up show from a while ago, actually.
Where's the other stuff you're going to play? Well, where's that that K-Rock clip?
The K-Rock clip Gary had and the NBC clip Gary had on the CD, which you can take today.
All right, but there's no point in me taking it today. The show is tomorrow. I mean, that should happen earlier in the week.
Why does the whole fucking world have to cater to you?
It's not catering to me.
It's totally catering to you.
How?
Because you don't call me back on time. Why don't you give me this? How come this isn't for me?
Because I have to make all the effort to you to get stuff
So what am
done.
I supposed to do? Stop what I'm doing and say, okay, wait a minute, I got to give this to Ralph. I'm going to stop working on wrap-up. I'm going to stop working on the other stuff because Ralph needs this right now. That's bullshit.
No, it's not.
Bullshit.
It's
and
not
also, you
But
pull
wait,
Jerry.
wait,
You pull Jerry. You pull Mike off what he's doing. You pull Jerry off what he's doing. You have all these. You have a team working for you. Meanwhile, I'm sitting.
Well, that's why my clips come out better than yours.
Yeah, okay. I'm sitting in my computer. I'm editing.
You should
all
put that
stuff.
effort into it.
I don't put effort into it. Fuck you. You got to be fucking kidding me. I sit in my fucking computer. I'm here later than almost anybody else in the office. You come in at 4 o'clock, one day a week, work with Jerry for 4 hours, and that's your effort. Give me a fucking break.
Not.
Yeah.
I'm at home doing
I'm sorry.
work,
Hold
too.
on. That's right. You're at home listening. You're at home.
No.
Hold on.
No,
You're at
not
home listening.
Listening to stuff, time coding it. I mean, I get, and then I come in and bring it to Jerry, and we sit and edit it.
As I said before, I didn't say you don't do any work, but don't you? Hold on.
I didn't say you
Let
don't
me
do
finish.
any work
Let me
either.
finish. But don't you imply that I don't work my ass off for that show?
I didn't say
Because
that.
You just did.
I didn't say that.
Hold on.
So you guys
That
have a
music
history.
sounds like we got to go to break.
Oh, this is a good time to get a break.
Oh God!
See, you guys have a history of beating the shit out of one another.
That was an angry moment. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
But the other, I was just thinking about it when Ralph calls into the wrap-up show. About 80 to 90% of the time, I'll pick him up because
That's
he's
right.
got something good to say.
So then how come you're telling me not to pick up?
I didn't. I said pick him up less.
So but you're picking him up 80 to 90%. That's what I'm doing. I'll pick him up every time. See? Fuck you.
Do you pick him up 80? Do you pick him up 80 or 90% of the time, John? You really think that?
Yeah. You can ask Steve. I mean, he or Will, one of those guys.
Because he's a good caller.
Well, you only know what you're looking at, Howard. Is that the amount you think you
Yes,
pick him up?
absolutely.
Well, I think we could cut that down to about 63.
All right. I don't know.